Alright guys, what is happening? We are gonna get into some editing real soon. Oh, this is now booting up. Alright, let's get everything ready. Oh, behind me. Alright, so it seems there that my audio is good. Check one. Right, that's good. Alright, and then we have that. Alright, let's get to editing, guys. Let's get to editing. Just switch our account with something. Alright. Nice. I could run this at 1080p 60. My favorite settings, right? That looks good there. And I can set you up here. Alright guys, yeah, and I think I'm good to go there. Right. Nice. Welcome back guys to my channel. I'm going to be editing this photo right here with this lovely young lady, and let's begin. So I went through Lightroom. There wasn't much editing. This was one I was supposed to edit a while ago, and I didn't really make the time to, so you know, I haven't done it. However, we are here, right? So Control and J to duplicate this layer. All right. What I want to do is create another layer, and I'm gonna kind of do it a little different this time. I'm gonna show some stuff I'm gonna work on. So I'm gonna highlight the areas I'm gonna work on. So let's make this brush smaller. No. Alright, let's go there. Alright, select B, drop the size of the brush and zoom in. So I'm gonna mark off where I'm gonna work. So all these buttons here, I find this pen is too big, so alright, that's too soft. So too big. So this area here with these buttons, I'm gonna target. The light shine in here, these little buttons here on top here. What else? I'm gonna work on her teeth, but for now it's just the buttons are highlighting. Alright, those are the areas there. So kind of mapping out my work. I want to deal with the neck area, so let's just choose a different color. This is for the teeth because the teeth will be a different selection, right? Then what do we do? Well, I have some work to do on, let's see now, things like this. Mess up seat. I have no idea what this is underneath here. All right, little pieces of board. So we're gonna clean up this image, and I want to work on the sky here. I better choose a different color for that. Alright, so let's choose like yeah. So I want to work on the sky here. Give it something behind there. Alright. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Then I may blur the outside area of here. So this whole top area here. Right, so try to deal with that, right? Also this area here. So there's a lot of work to do on this image. And I'm gonna create a new layer. And I'm gonna first of all, let us copy and duplicate this, and let us do all our liquefaction. Right, I think I said it right this time. All liquefaction one time. All right, and here we go. So let's hit the face tool, which is A. Scrolling with the mouse, press the space bar for the hand tool, and there we go. And we zoom in more. Yes, beautiful eyes. So let's open it just a tad wider. All right, and a smile. She already has a nice smile. Let's make her smile even more. And what I love to do is bring on the hairline. All right, nice. And we could just bring the face in just a little bit. Nice, excellent. And then we go to the forward warp tool, which is commonly known to everyone, right? This is called the forward warp tool, and this is where we, you know, make the bosom area even and upright. Yeah, but she's quite a small little girl, so, well, woman. We could deal with this in you know, clone stamp tool and stuff. We could bring in the jersey there to give her that aesthetic of her being slimmer and neater, right? And that's quite about it. Maybe we could go in on this side and pull it in just a little bit here. Yeah, pull it in. Right there. Nice. She has a nice dress there. What I could do is just, let's make her hips just a tad bit wider. And bring in here just a tad bit. Alright, so there's a before and after. Very little done, right? What we could do also is that we could go into her soups. Use the hand tool. And she has some soups here. I'm wondering if to liquefy. Right, so what I'll do is bring in these more. So I want this more on the face. Nice. Alright. And bring it in more. Okay. Anytime I make a mistake, Control and Z. Alright. So before and after. Before and after. Alright, nice. So now we have the image how we want it. Before and after. Before and after. Right, that's the liquefying part. There. Let's keep going. Alright, that's the liquefying part. Now let's go to the healing brush, which is G. We press G on the keyboard and we get the healing brush selected. Now, some of these buttons here can be removed by changing the layer to lighten. Right, this was not a studio shoot, this was a boat ride. So this was a flash, on board flash, right? Now, as you can see, this was removed without a lot of, you know, blurring. So this is what we're gonna do here now, because she has a skin tone, right? And the buttons are darker than her skin tone. It's easier, or the sections that have the buttons is easier to clean up, right? Especially if we lighten the spaces, right? So let's check before and after, and there we go. So this one is simple. All are simple, but this one is nice to deal with. She has very nice skin because she's wearing no makeup, just some eyelashes. That is even better. But the little acne, and that's why they call in the professionals like us, the photographers. So we don't want this area here like that. So you Control Z, Control G, and you could switch this to normal and get rid of that. You understand? If you can't get rid of it now, leave it for frequency separation. Set it for something else. Hello, Authentic. Hi, Sugis. So let us get back to lighten, and we're gonna lighten some more. So there's areas that you could just move around, especially if you get in trouble with one area. If you ever encounter that, and you could just move around and just like this, before and after. All right. Now we're gonna go across the entire face. If you want to rotate the picture, you hit R on the keyboard and just turn it to your liking, and then hold the space bar and the left mouse key button, click back J, and start back to clean. It depends on your eyes and how you see the picture. It doesn't matter if it's upside down or not to me, but I want to see it from different angles, so I could clean up from different angles. Alright, so now in this angle I notice, whoa, there are certain areas that I have left out, and I will change. Yes, this is lighten, and to escape from being in this angle, I could just press escape on the keyboard, Control and 0 to zoom out, and there you have it. So this is what we cleaned up so far on her face, and you can see didn't take much time, and the majority of the buttons are removed. Now I'm gonna switch this from lighten to normal for this area here, because it looks like a irritated spot, right? And there we go. Now there's some bigger pores that I would like to remove that are not beautifying. You understand? But it could be from the cold weather. Alright. Now zoom back in. This is the face here. So let's type face, FACE. There we go. Before and after. All my batteries looking there. Excellent. They tell me I have 9 hours. Good. Nice. Before and after. That's the face. Let's do, like, we could do the down here. Well, we don't need anything down here right now. The neck area. Could do the arm. That's a lovely tattoo if you're into that. Right? We're gonna hit J again, and we're gonna start back to remove the blemishes by using lighten. Alright. You could zoom in and out to your preference. Alright. Nothing out of the ordinary. Alright, so there's this nail here. Can't zoom in too close to that, right? That is light, so we'll hit darken instead. I'm hitting darker now. Resize the brush, and there we go. Alright? And or you could use the normal mode. Alright? Let's check the other arm. Nothing seems untoward here. Alright, let's check the leg. Alright, so there are some bumps and bruises, and we could use the blending mode of lighten for this darkened area here. Alright, and that was excellent. Right? Now this area here I would prefer to use normal because it's a mix of dark and lights. And there we go, before and after. Alright, so there are some blemishes on the leg area that aren't visible when we zoom in, right? Now that is that. Let us clean up this image a little bit. So we could name this body, and we're going to open our next layer. Now this picture needs some work. As a matter of fact, let's hold Control Shift Alt and E to submerge everything, and we'll see what we did so far. Right, before and after, before and after, before and after. Right. Control and G, I always like to have extra copies, and I'm going into sky replacement. Right now, could not replace sky because no sky was detected. There we have a little issue there. Right, now it was in nighttime. All right, and it's still searching for it, but it cannot get it. Right, so I would have liked to replace it behind, but yeah, I want to keep it simple. It's not like a Photoshop manipulation image I'm doing. All right, so we're going back to the body of the boat. Right, these little problem issues here. Nice. Before and after. So fix the seat behind it. Anything that distracts. There's a lot of rust here, but there's a lot of, big rusty parts that are showing up themselves more than they need to. Even parts of the seat. So we could fix those slightly. Small strokes are better. Alright. Resizing the brush helps. So this area alone isn't like an eyesore. It doesn't take away the eyes from the subject itself. Alright, they actually show me where I did work. Alright. Let me switch to B. And then G. Right, there's an eyesore here. What is this? Right, messy. Let's get another one, and we're just gonna hold and select this area. I want to remove this entire spot here. Doesn't even matter if it meshes into wood. That's better than the spot we will get in just now there, right? Nice. So we have that whole post cleaned up because I was looking disgusting. Alright, so let's go under this table here. I think this might be a ledge holding the table, but it distracts the eye from under the table, and afterwards remove the shadow. Ooh, I don't want that. Alright, let's hit J again. Sometimes pressing the keyboard shortcuts, you may come up with little issues in selecting something else, right? Alright, so before and after. So we actually clean up a lot of stuff in this image because they are distracting to the eye, like the darker parts of the woodwork. Yeah. Kind of like cleaning house kind of behavior. Alright. So let's watch before and after. That's messy though. As in, the amount of distractions right there, and that's like the leg area. Alright. I may have to blur the background out, seriously, like, because of the amount of back. Wonder if I could, like, move that guy easily. Just this whole area. Giving me an awful kind of result, right? I'll blur that out though. Right, so this is before and this is after. Let's merge this now and let's get ahead of this picture. Control and J, Control and J, Control and J again, and Control and G. Right, and then we're gonna do frequency separation, and we're gonna hit it like 5.8, and that looks good to me. And then we're gonna apply image, merge, layer 6, and we're gonna hit it at subtract. Keep up with me now. Then we hit on this to linear light, press enter, and this layer 6, I'm gonna use the lasso tool. The shortcut for the lasso tool is L for lasso. Right now we already did so much work on her face that, you know, it's a big plus. If it was a more like natural edit, we already cleared much of it. All right, and we can use the frequency separation to do some work with the skin textures, the lights and the darks. Let's go. So let's set it. Let's try about 14. Alright, that really helps there. Let's zoom out. Alright, let's try like 21. I like to try numbers in sevens. So let's see before and after. Alright, let's zoom in before and after. Alright. Right, this area right here. Alright, I think 14 will be good. It's pretty strong right now, right? And we wanna kind of captivate. What I wanna do is this eye area here, doing this section alone. Alright, and let's see what we could do here now. Now this affects the eyes. How I see with that. However, I could deal with it, huh? Like it's like 28, right? And I could put another layer here, right? Hit X, Control and backspace, and I could place this image inside this group here, right underneath, right? I'm putting layer 6 at the bottom, right? So now when I paint on this, so using the brush tool, and I paint over the eye now, black, you know, I'll get that, but that's not what I'm looking for. So I'll delete that for now. And what I'll do is undo all of that. And I would target the eye differently. So then L for lasso. And just come across here. And take this whole area here, including part of the nose. And under the eye, not too close. And start to check the... Whoa, that is too much. So let's hit like 14. Because she lost her expression. So set like about 7, 0, 7. So like before and after. I don't want her to lose the expression of, you know, the smile. That is totally not what we're trying to do here. Alright, 7 is good. 7 seems to work magical right now. But not everything is to clean up, like totally lose detail and, you know, total blur. So the neck area with the lines, I could do some exaggeration here, right? Could do like 21. and kind of like clear the neck. So from afar, neck is way faded than before, right? Let's do the arm. Kinda didn't make that too good. So hold shift and press and add. Right? Control and backspace. So that's too much. Just hit like 14. That looks nice. Alright, so let's do this area here now. Control and plus. That's my shortcut for it. Now I will do 14 here, but for the veins, the area with the veins here, I will do it way more, because I'm trying to remove those veins. So like 35. Alright, let's like, whoa. I didn't take out the 3 from the number. Alright, so let's hit like about 48. So right now what is working for me is like 35. Alright, like before and after. What I like to do is, when I'm frequency separating, I like to still have it at a limit where you could still see some pores to make the skin look beautiful. It's not like plastic we're going for, you know. Let's try 21. Okay, let's try 14. 14 before and after. 14 looks nice, man. Oh yeah, 14 looks nice. So I will do 14 on the legs as well on this side, encompassing the knee area. I may have to go a bit closer to this finger here. There we go. So she gets those smooth legs finish. Right, so we try not to cross in between those dark lines, because it will be so obvious that you're actually frequency separated and didn't do a good job, right? So let's go 14 again. So we have a much more creamed shave looking legs. Beautiful. Right, let's head on to now. I would have frequency separated her jersey, but I want to show the twist in the waist, right? Let's go to this arm here. So we're selecting from here. All right, and cover these lines by the elbow here, and 14 is good. But you can choose whatever number you would like, because every photo is different. So this photo didn't focus only on the subject, but it has subject and a lot of background in it, and that causes the frequency separation to differ from picture to picture. Right? And there we have it. I want to see if I could like enhance this photo, well, this tattoo, by using frequency separation. Alright, so let me see. If I use a low value, alright, that's too much. So like, let's say I use a value like 4. Yes, it worked. So under the skin, what happens is that under the skin, we clean up all the other issues. Now when we get to dodge and burn, it will be terrific. Now we could actually frequency separate the environment. So let's head to that now. Alright, so this was already, blowing in the background. And if I hit frequency separation, I could actually enhance this here now and take down that highlight that was there and those things, right? So let's hit 21, and it will kind of take the focus off of it. You understand? This cupboard here, this cupboard space here, I would like to really try it here. And kind of, alright, so 21 is a bit harsh, so let's try 7. Let's zoom out. So before and after. That's it, 14. Nice. So it kind of like gets rid of all the issues I was having with the cupboard space. I find it's too much focus was drifting from the model to the cupboard and all these sorts of things, right? That is it for now there. Alright, so let us go and do, let's check it before and after. Before and after. It's way cleaner. Way cleaner. Alright. Let me see if I could what I would like to do though, as I notice, I'm making another layer. I'm hitting G for the spot healing brush, and I am keeping it at normal, and this counter space has a lot of distractions, so I'm making the brush smaller, and I'm going to highlight and keep on removing you know, those distractions just in the back there, like, you know, better, way better. Somebody in blue there already moved them, right? So it's just peace in the back there, right? Nice, good. I want to get rid of this guy in the back here, man. He need to go. Alright, so let's start with this cup here. Alright, let's start with this one here, and we just chipping away. Nice. Clean up on aisle 4. Nice. Now that's gone now, so just take our time and just cut through. Alright, and this whole little L shape here, it's gone. Now for his head, nice. So we're getting somewhere. It's really removing this guy really cool. This is like what I don't normally practice, but I do it more like in I do this more like in manipulation, Photoshop manipulation, when I was showing those kind of tutorials. Alright, so it's kind of erased there. Now I could start with another layer and go with a brush in the back here now. Current all layers, and I'm selecting here, and then I'm making this brush bigger, and I want to create this from here. Right, so I'll copy in from this side and pasting it on this side, right? What I could also do is from here, copy here. So this is like the post. Drop the post smaller and then start to come down with the post right here. Alright? Now that's a little bend. So what I'm gonna do now is start to go down from here. That's much better. Alright? Then I'm gonna select the sky that is black, totally black, and remove all this color, this coloration, right? I'm gonna work on the edge of this rope here. Alright, so there we have it, guys. You remove that guy. Right, I don't know who he was, but he's gone. And then I'm gonna continue here. Alright. So it's the spot, what I'm using now is the clone brush. Right? I'll use it a little behind. And I'm using this to clean up any little mess. I'm going to extend the counter. And so I'll just start from quite here, right? And just build the counter here. Then I could start from right here and replace this side here. So more or less erase, this Control and J. I removed him totally and clean up the background a lot more, right? Let's make this an entire layer by itself. Control and J. Right. Wow, what a transformation. So it's way cleaner, way neater, right? I am seeing something there again. Distraction. I have no idea what this is. I see a poster or something. But it's not supposed to be my picture, yo. What I can do is use a spot healing brush and actually select this. And shade. Wow. All right. Well, that took care of majority of that though. Nice. Let's zoom in closer. I don't like that blue on here, so it's gonna take it off there. I don't like this white. There. Alright. Wow, so we have come a long way, guys, in a short space of time. Hey, Adwele, what's up, bro? Alright, so before and after. Before and after. Now I can't move what is inside her hand because I might have to recreate fingers and all of that. I ain't into that right now. That's Photoshop manipulation, guys. Right? There's a green thing up here, boy. I want to remove that. Alright. This can't be green, man. It could be some other color, man. Right? No! Alright, let's do it over, right? Oh, you know what? I could actually use let me just say green and then desaturate. Oh, what's going on here? Like I need to select that color, boy. Nice. Perfect. It's gone, guys. Before and after. Right. A lot of cleaning up, but it makes the photo look more beautiful, right? Subject now, we are going to do some curves, dodge and burn, right? That's your brightness, and opening the next curves layer for the darks. Right? And this is gonna be burn and this is gonna be dodge. Now let's get to it. Alright, and bring back some more highlights and details. Yeah, let's go, guys. First of all, there's a light source coming from this side, right? and I would like to emphasize on that. So I'm pressing 1, the opacity is on 1. Make sure this is white on top and black at the bottom, so you can press X and it will switch. All right, let's go. Let's see what 1 does. Nice, that's good enough. So she has that like little glow there, right? She had a glow here too, and I want to create that line, that beautiful line on her nose, right? This is like highlights. What makeup artists do, right? So we're beautifying her natural beauty here now, right? And for the burn, I'll put this on, let's say 30. I'm trying. The light is kind of like taken away from her eyebrow, so that broad brush cannot be used to this point here. I have to change it, change the size and go down. Don't be lazy, guys. All right, go back, fix your errors, and that looks good to me. So it brings back more balance. All right, now the eyelashes. She has beautiful eyelashes, so let's work on that right now. I'm going straight across here first and foremost, and then I'll do the eyelids, the eyebrows, one by one. So the darks and the lights is something that you could work on before working on the color of the photo, because you could actually see what you want to focus on and what, you know, it comes right before colorizing the photo. All right, these on this side is very long and you can see it, but I don't want any whites on it, more or less. I want it dark to show, right? To bring, so as you can see, we do work around the eyes and you can see that the eye color has been lost, but I can remember her eye color, right? Now the dodge, I will brighten up the white. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nice, and we'll get to other areas now. Let's see, brush. Yeah. Let me just check this out. Alright, I have the navigator tool here, so I could open up this for you guys to see actually the area I'm working on, right? But how can I make this much more simpler? I think that's how it is. I also use the Retouching Pro, which I'll open up here. But I mightn't use this right now, right? I might just complicate things and I might stay longer on this photo. Anyways, we are going to highlight some of this smile lines on these things here, because this added a lot of impact, all right, on the photo. All right, so nothing's wrong with the smile line. All right, I'm just going over the places that have light. We could work on the teeth area as well, right underneath the layer. And I'll choose yellows, and I will kind of like desaturate it, but I'll go in for more yellows, like between there and there. Right now I'm gonna hit control and backspace, enter control and backspace. Right, I want to work on the brush, so I'm gonna use this on her teeth. 0. So we're gonna whiten the teeth, right? I want to select them. Many ways to do this. Right? Anywhere that has yellow. Right? And what I'm gonna do now is reselect this and I'll put some blues on it. First we're gonna brighten it. Right? And then some blues in it. Right? Pull it back now. It's a bit too strong. Alright. I want to see it blue though. Let's bring down the saturation. Alright, so I want to bring it up slowly. I think 87 is good. Nice. So it doesn't look like, yellow. Alright? And I had my Retouching Pro panel here. I'm going to use the assistance of that right now, especially on facial, skin, lips and teeth. You know what, let me take off this one and see what they do. So whiten teeth, I'm going to take a brush and brush it on. So I had my method, but let's use the Retouching Pro method. Whoa! 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 Yeah, wow. Okay. It's totally. That's Colgate white, yo. What? We gotta drop this, man. Right, so I don't want it on the lip area. Alright, so let's zoom out. It's still a bit too white. That's too much. Let's hit that like about 45. And zoom out. Now we could do 65. Alright. What I'd like to do though is paint in the creases. So I get the brush smaller to do some separation with the gum there. Excuse me. Alright. Still a bit bright, but I'll hit it like a 55. It's a bit bright for me. Right, so add lip gloss, lipstick, I mean. Right, so what I'll be looking for is something like really pinkish. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna paint on the mask here. Alright, so I don't think this is the color I want, but when I paint on this mask, what happens is that I could choose now. If you understand, if you get me. Because, yeah, it is actually giving her that you have a lipstick look, right? I'm doing a little broad brushing here, right? Now, she ain't that kind of good, right? So let's take off this and let's put on this one. The nude tango. So I could try out these and see now how it looks on the lip, right? And they're not giving me the result I wanted. Whoa! Let's go for... I had a pink just now there. And I could actually like neaten up this and do some work here, right? So let's hit X and clean underneath here. And X and properly do it. Right? No, I don't want it so powerful, truly. Just to give the lip area a little more that pinkish glow. So I think like about 30 is supposed to be good with that. Right? Because, you know, the lips were looking a bit dry before. Now we're going to use the lip glue. And I'm going to start to paste some here. Before and after. Oh, that looks beautiful. Nice. I will drop the liquid to like about 65. I don't like to overdo things, right? Lip color, I'll put at like 45. So this side is put all these in one and leave it mouth. Alright, let's do the eyes now, and I'm gonna say iris. Let's see what they give us here. Oh, that's beautiful. Color. I'm going for this color here. Right, so this will have to tone down, right? This will really have to tone down. I could really drop it after, like hit that like about 45. Yeah, just a minute now. I just got a phone call, guys. But I'm doing a live. I can't be doing phone calls right now. Alright. It's a bit too bright. So I'm gonna drop this to like 25. Right? Now we have to neaten up this iris here, because that is not like, you know, the white had it. That is not what we're going for. And the black areas, right? That's before and that's after. I think it's the eye detail. That should be good. So then I hit that, then I'll paste it. Right, this is the eye detail that sharpens the eyes. Nice. I could leave that like that. Right? Alright. Now, all of this wasn't supposed to be done right now. Right? I was doing dodge and burn. Right, so let's continue. I'm gonna select burn, or I could select solid color, right? I wanna do some with this tattoo here, bring it down. Right, and then select this black layer. Right, let's just right, okay, and then hold control and backspace, and I could maybe use the brush tool and paint on this tattoo here now, and voila. Before and after. Now we could drop this to like 65. Alright, so it's gonna dodge and burn, well, burn the whole thing, but that might make sense, right? So I want to use the brush and minus. So it's supposed to be a simple picture, but it's getting into the technicalities, boy. Right, there are certain spaces in between that I could really clean up. So all the back here could be lighter. Alright, try to be neat. Alright, that tattoo looked like she put it on yesterday. Right, and we're gonna do the dodge X10. 1, 2. Nice. You have that little light beam there, and we have some light here, and on the leg area we have a nice piece of light here, highlighting the beauty of her legs. So when you zoom out, you actually see it. Wow, that's awesome. Even on here and a bit here, so it gives it a more 3D pop. Alright, before and after, before and after. Let's go to the area below here. I know here had a little light. Here also had a little bit of light. And I want to go to the burn now and burn the center here now. The sides. Yeah. Before and after. Nice. Gonna do some burning here. What that does is highlight the bosom area. Right, let me go in here now. I need to do some follicle work, so I'm gonna sort of add some here. Is it on 30? And let's add here. This is using dodge and burn, fill in the spaces. Small tiny brushes on 2. All right, follow the pattern that it already has. I'm not trying to make nothing new. All right, I had a window open here just so for people to see what I'm working on. I don't know where it went. Let me bring it across here. And I'm gonna plug in right here, right? So as you can see, it's the hair working on, right? Nice. Before and after. What I'm gonna do the hair also, I could darken the parts inside the skull here. Alright. To give it that kind of moisturized scalp finish. Alright. So here looks more full, and to make it look more neat, I will darken these areas here. The braids already has highlight on them. I don't need to add more highlight to her braids. Right? I'm gonna contour her face a bit, so put that on 10. And here, excellent. Smallen the nose by contouring the shape of the nose by using the darks. Right? I would add a little bit of light here under the hood of the eyes and darken the other areas around it. Alright, you could put a little darken here, all on top here. Let me turn on all these layers just in case. Nice. Before and after. Before and after. Alright, let's zoom out. Before and after. Nice. Still mark on everything. I was doing some dodge and burn. Was that in? I'm not sure what layer that was in. Alright, so I have to number these a little better. I was on dodge and burn, guys. What? That is frequency separation. Guys, I was doing dodge and burn. Alright, it's on the top. Right. So I can make all these layers smaller. I didn't know I'd open up so many layers. Right. Before and after. Before and after. Right? I wanted to fix this area here, but I'll do that after. I'm not showing a little skin in too bad. Right, nice. Let's get to the goal now. Let's hit that like about 30. Yeah. And we could darken this side here now. B. Excellent. The face of this watch, whoa. Alright, so there we have it, before and after. Now I am going to start to do some coloring, and here we go. Alright, nice. Oh yeah, that adds a nice color there. Let's go to the whites, and we're gonna select more on the cyan side. And then we could add a little bit. I don't want it to be, you know, too much oh, this brings her out a lot. Alright. Whoa. Let's have a bit. That looks pretty good. And then I'll do the blacks. This is where I really get to mess with this image. Ooh. Yes, right there. So my color grade alone and sharpen this image tremendously. Right? Control Shift Alt E. Put everything else in a folder. From layer 1 to 99. Before and after. Everyone's gone from the background. Nice colors. Nice shape. Less distraction. All of these beautiful things, right? So I'm now going to use the retouching tool. See if anything I missed. Skin tone, skin glow. Let me try the skin glow layer. Yes, I'll do that. And try skin glow. Alright. And let me see what this does. Alright, so before and after. Alright, I see what it does. It adds a little glow to the skin, and I'm gonna use that to emphasize a lot on her. Alright. This looks so beautiful. Well, let's not do it on that side because I already have so much on this side here. And let's put it on her neck to show, you know, that turn. Nice. Oh. Alright, so let's work on this background now. Darken background, and actually darken this background a bit. So what I did, it selected awesome. This is awesome, but it's a bit too much, so I'll put it like 65. Wow, like somebody take off the lights so there. Man, that's so nice. and she's in more focus, right? Let's blow behind there a little more. Alright, let's see. Before and after. Right, so I may just have to do a little bit of work now, because it may have a problem understanding her. Alright, so alright. Nice. We don't want the edge of her to be blurred. Neither this side of the photo nor the leg area. Nice. Now I need to this guy, like, he really doesn't want to leave this photo, right? So I have to copy from here and kind of paste this guy here. This has to go over here on top. Yeah. No more of him. Nice. Woo! Now the blur behind, I could drop that to 65 as well, eh? I do like everything full. Control Shift and Alt for everything. Group. Before and after. I'm just gonna check some, right? Images. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, this really looks nice. Can I get this image? Save image as. Yeah. I'm gonna try some here, and I really said I wasn't gonna do this, but let's just try it, right? Right. I'm gonna drop the opacity, and now this image is way too small. So Control and T. I'm gonna make this even bigger and put this behind now. Yeah, we can do it. Alright, so you put this on top now, and what we're gonna do is select the areas here. Have to mark it out. Quick selection. Gosh, what was I even thinking? Alright, just Control Shift Alt E. Delete. Right. And nice. Control to add here, and add here, Right? Now let's hit minus. Whoa! That minus the whole thing, boy. Alright, I don't want that. Let's switch to quick selection and minus the bottom here. Alright, nice. We're getting somewhere. Alright. And we'll have to minus the bottom area here. Minus all there. Right? And just create a mask and cut it out. Put the city behind and hit Control and I. Right? Control and T and shift this. Right? Nice. Control and this and blur this to 14 is too much, 7 would be good, but it is too bright, so we just go to levels, we get there, and we hit focus on this now, and we just bring it down. Now there are a few things you have to work on, as in the background here, and we go with the brush, B for the brush tool. Just take your time and fix it. Take your time and fix it. Alright, and there's here. And it's coming together, but I want this picture, so I'm gonna get it. Now this whole thing is here. Oh, that's a neck. I get cut off there, yes? Oh well. Let's draw it back. It's a nice attempt. And I think also that the saturation is a bit too strong. And the blur could actually go up to 40. Alright. But again, as I said, guys, this is not the picture we were going for. Whew! Let's get back to reality here. So I would do a video like that soon in the near future. However, right now isn't the time for that, right? Get carried away again. Alright, so let's wrap this up. Alright, Control and J. Alright, so we want a gray layer, so let's go for a new layer, edit, fill, right, overlay, not soft light, overlay, right, then at the bottom here, select subject quickly using the AI, Right, she is beautifully selected. And now I'm going here, create this there one time here. Right, on the overlay here, we're gonna click filter, other, no, filter, noise, add noise. All right, excellent. Then we're using control and plus to get 1.5% blur. All right, this is all over her. Right, then you can see it on her face, and then we go filter, stylize, emboss, and then we have skin tone. Well, yeah. Now we're gonna drop this to like about 65 for the most. Too much. 45. Too much. Let's try 30. Alright. Yeah. 30 looks good to me. If you zoom into her skin, you'll actually see it. 30 is good enough. Alright. What I will do though is deselect the color from her jersey and the skirts here. Not the color, but the skin texture. So I'll hit control and backspace. Oh no, not on that layer, but on this layer. Control and backspace. So now I have a perfect selection of her skin, which I always wanted. Right, so now we're going to new layer, control and D to take off that mask. Everything, jump. Right, image adjustment, brightness and contrast, and bring down the contrast. Filter, other, high pass. Right, let's try 2. Then we go to linear light and we use this mask here on her here. Nice, and we press enter. So as you can see, this is wow, slamming detail. Right, too much. 35 for the most. Nice, still a bit too much, so let's hit 30. And we also want to brush it off over here. So let's click B. I want to have black as the color we're going to use, and brush that detail off of her, please. The face here, nice. Before and after. Nice. Before and after. So if you watch the tattoo, before and after. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I think we are wrapping up here, you know. Let me see if I could just anything I missed. Let me see the plugin. If the plugin will help me. I missed dodge and burn skin glow, skin hair removal. Eyes, we did eyes, we did lips and teeth, and we did hair replacement. I didn't do that. Whoa. What? I don't need to replace here. Easy. Texture. Face. Clothes, change color of the clothes. No, I don't want to do that. Effects. CG, skin tone. I don't want to change the skin tone. Blur, contrast. I think I have everything there. Now what I'm gonna do is what I haven't done in a while. It is not the channel mixer, the solid color gradient, pattern, levels. Oh, the levels, I could use that. Alright, so I think exposure is better for this. And also before the exposure, it's nice to use that. Color balance, this is what I'm looking for. All right, so let's go in the shadows now. Woo! Hoo-hoo. Color balance, right? So any mistakes I made before? So color balance, the shadows, I could add some blue. One. The mid-tones now. Oh, I want a mid-tones to pop. Let's give me a sting of magenta just a bit. And the reds, yeah. And then the highlights now. I can make, I know what, I'll make the highlights warm. I want you to watch this picture and feel like, yeah boy, wow, something about this image, you know? Right, so I'm doing it a little bit outside. Right, so the highlights, as on the highlights. Nice. Nice and warm. Not too much. I could leave this at 0. So before and after. Slight. Ever so slightly. Oh my gosh. I love this photo. And then I could add a little exposure. Whoa! I could drop this by 0.7. I'm cool with that. Now let's Control Shift Alt and E, and I think I'm gonna wrap this up here, guys. I was gonna do another photo, you know, but this might be for next time. So, alright, so this is before and this is after. Before and after. Now we gotta size this thing up for IG, guys. 5x4. Oh, did I have it wrong? 4x5. I can't remember the specs for IG, yes. Well, let's check it. IG is 5. IG ratio 4x5, right? Oh, this is correct. Okay. I don't know if I want to shift it like this or I just shift it like this. I mean, yeah, fingers get cut off there, but like, let's put a logo on this. I didn't put a logo on the last one. Alright. I could go in that space here. Nice. Bit bold, but B. Alright. Let's zoom out. Let me just adjust it just a little bit more. Alright. I like this pic. Alright. So that's it for this one, guys. Let's go to before and after. So let's zoom in, right? Look at the face. Before, after. Alright. The detail on the skin here. Before and after. Alright. All the distractions removed before and after. This picture, we did some work here. We did some work. Alright, so that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Whoa, what's going on my screen?